Everyone lives, everyone dies. Everyone loves, everyone cries. Round the world we're all alike. So why is it war? Why do we fight? There's one sea, one sky, one earth. So you and I gotta learn to live together. When one hurts, when one needs, we all gotta learn to live together. Peace, make peace, make peace, peace. Alright, isn't it time for us to stop dying? Isn't it time, mother, stop crying? Stop the fighting and the hate. We gotta make peace before it's too late. There's one sea, one sky, one earth. So you and I gotta learn to live together. When one hurts, when one needs, we all we gotta learn to live together. Peace in peace, in peace. Round the world we're all alike. So why is there war? Why do we fight? There's one sea, one sky, one earth. So you and I gotta learn to live together. When one hurts, when one needs, we all gotta learn to live together. Peace, make peace, make peace, peace. Alright, isn't it time when the stars die? Isn't it time, mother, stop crying? Stop the fighting and the hate. We gotta make peace before it's too late. There's one sea, one sky, one earth. So you and I gotta learn to live together. When one hurts, when one needs, we all gotta learn to live together. Peace in peace, in peace. Alright, make peace, peace together. Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Yeah, yeah. Oh my God, guys, we're here. Okay, let's talk. Are you guys ready to see arrests? Okay, are you guys ready to see pain? Not our pain. Are you guys ready to see part of our new history? That's exactly what's going to happen. Okay, thank you guys for joining me. We're here on the Facebook chat room. Those actually are here in the chat room. Thank you guys, as well as YouTube chat room. There have been a lot of crazy things going on all over the world as we speak. We've had some rising of temperatures and floods everywhere, including India. My goodness, guys. I mean, I talk about when you actually get ready to see pain. Oh my God, I feel bad for the people up in India right now. 140 degrees. That's 60 Celsius. 60 Celsius. 140 degrees in India. The freaking cars are melting. The Tesla cars are melting. The tires are melting. Like, what? Okay, now we got the major. Why is it? How come India has the hottest of heat? Sure, I'm actually based out of Canada. We're in the West Coast, and yet, sure, it's been hot here, but not like India. I mean, let's put it this way, folks. Is the equator set up for India to get warmer there? If you live in India, you're hotter. It's almost like that's getting melted. Folks, there actually have been a lot of heat exhaustions, passing deaths. There have been shortage of water there all of a sudden now. There has been, oh my God, I'm actually watched the video. Someone actually did a TikTok just recently and showed they're up in India themselves. These are guys from India. They were on vacation visiting their family, and even the planes can't land properly because the wheels on the planes are melting as it's going down the blacktop landing strip. So they have to land on water somehow. So there are people now taking biplanes or water contained planes, large ones that actually can land on water. I mean, this is crazy, guys. There's people in India now. If you want, so now they've canceled East Indian trips. Anyone go to India, they cancel the flights because of the intensity of the heat. The tires are melting while they're landing. There's no way it can work. Some people in India do have cars that are EVs, the tires and the vehicles themselves. The metal is melting. Literally anything plastic is melting at 140 degrees. 140. Are you kidding me? What? Like, now, mind you, a couple of years ago, we had high temperatures of 103 for 2 days here in British Columbia. We lost some elders where I lived in my neighborhood. Three or four elders passed away in their home because there was no air conditioning. They had no air conditioning in their house, and their house was too small. And apparently, what I understood, they found one of the elders in his bathtub, I guess, died of heat exhaustion, even though he was turning on the cold water to get cooled off, but didn't make it and died of a heart attack. I guess the intensity of the heart just passed away. So, yeah, Travis. Yeah, Travis gets funny here because time to build pyramids again. Ice water. Good for you guys. By the way, get yourself some glass quartz sealer like this. It'd be worth your while. Get a straw, wherever how you can find it. Give high guys advice. Stick to drinking water for a while. This is going to help be more replenishable for you more than coffee at the moment, because if you drink coffee in the summertime too much, it can actually, structurally, your bones are not healing as fast. You can actually have troubles moving around. and people are noticing they're having more joint pain by drinking too much coffee. So if you're gonna have a cup of coffee at least once a day, is fine. But some people are heavy duty coffee drinkers, especially the re-roasted and re-roasted and re-roasted type coffee. And if they like your coffee really strong, like the Italian kind, be careful, guys, because you don't want to seize up your bone structures or bone joints. So stick to water for a bit throughout the summer. If it gets too hot, stick to water. It's worth your while. If you can ozone the water, ozone it, right? Be worth your while. Now, the reason why I was late, I don't know why my voice all of a sudden. Oh, I know why. The fan's on my face. I have a fan in my face, and so I'm breathing in fan air. What happens, guys? Pardon me. That's crazy. I was fine all day. What? Okay. Are you done? Okay. It's acting weird. This is just stupid stuff. Let's go here again. A lot of times, thank you for Diane. We are having, I can smell perfume. Heavy amount of perfume. Someone's actually got major perfume outside. Whoa, that's too much for me. No wonder I'm coughing. It's coming from outdoors. Somebody actually sprayed perfume all their cells, and it's really heavy. Like it smells like an Avon. And when people walk by my house, my fans are bringing in the smell of the perfume, and some of this perfume is so old. Wow, this is really old perfume. I've never smelled that perfume like that in a long time. It's been years. That's why I was coughing, because I was catching my breath for smelling perfume. Wow, harsh. Never smelled that before. It's like old Avon. I'm sure you guys may know what that means. Some of you guys that may know what Avon's about, but it reminds me of old Avon perfume. Wow, that's crazy. And see, now it's gone. Okay. Where was I here? Let's talk about, again, the weather. Okay, we had weather here in BC. Same with whether it's Ontario. In the U.S. U.S. actually has right now in Texas had a tornado. Holy crap. Watching the tornadoes coming down, tearing people's houses out like crazy. Like that's nuts. Absolutely freaking crazy. Nuts, right? Floods. People are actually driving down the highway or the roads, and the water is so high that if you're driving a Tesla or a short little car, it's going to be up your eyes like over here, right? So now they're telling people to stay off the roads. It's going to remind me a little bit of New Orleans. Remember back in a few years back, folks, New Orleans had a major flood. They said one of the dams broke. I don't believe the dam broke, but I mean, major flood. A lot of people lost their homes on account of it. What they're doing for the rebuilding now, they're raising their houses higher. They're putting them on poles much higher. So if there's ever a water table reach high again, that means that housing will not be affected by it. So I got a funny feeling that Texas may have to go the same direction. You never know. You never know, right? So, anyways, let's see here. Thank you guys for joining me on the both chat rooms, just watching your sharing your information. Says I'm ready for the end of their despotic ways. Okay. Thank you for joining Travis and Diane, and also be cool to be fast. It's like took care of it. Derek should be fine now. Thank you, Travis. Yeah. Ernie, I smell the perfume like tranquil moments in my house the same time as you. Well, you know what? Could be your wife. It could be your wife that smell the old perfume. I could smell old perfume. Like it caught my breath, and I didn't expect that. None whatsoever. Like that smell is gone now. It's not even around me, but holy crap. I didn't expect that. Anyways. And it happens sometimes. Some people that they're passed away come through in spirit, and they actually they come forward, and I could scent them. I can smell their senses, smell the scent of them and whoever the person is, and then that's how I get it. So, could have been Shirley, Ernie. It could have been your wife, Shirley. That was actually the smell that had that strong perfume scent. And Diane says, my aunt brings smells of perfume. Yeah, it smells like old. I mean, I'll say, well, sorry, no disrespect, but it smells like an old Avon. You know, the old, like the way ladies used to put that spray, that Avon, like crazy on themselves. That's what it could smell. And I thought it was coming in my room, but it was so adamant, like boom, in my face. Okay, now I want to talk about the weather, like I said before, and the let's see, we talked about India, how it's 140 degrees there. Those are guys coming in the chat room. It's 140 in India right now. Like I said, tires are melting. In Texas, we've had major floods. In Las Vegas, they've got extra floods as well. Plus, there's a tornado that came through. So it's doing some major damage in a lot of places at the moment as we speak. There's so many city-state lines are getting tornadoes, floods like crazy all over. I mean, it's nuts. Mostly in the States. We've had some crazy ass weather in Canada, but you guys are in the States are getting more hit than we are. I know quite a few years ago, we had a major tornado up in northern Alberta between Edmonton and Red Deer, or near Red Deer. And it was near Penhold. That was the town. It was near the barracks. And there was a campsite in Penhold, and where people go there, tourists, they have their campgrounds and their trailers there, and they're camping. And apparently there was a tornado came through, and it ripped a whole bunch of people, evacuated all their trailers as quick as they can to get away from the tornado, and apparently tore down good 20 or 30 trailers and houses and cars and that sort of thing, and even people. Most of the people survived, apparently, they said, but there was 2 people missing. They couldn't find 2 people that were part of that camp. 2 years later, my brother-in-law, bless his heart, my brother-in-law actually was driving down the highway near Penhold, about 10 miles away from the area. He was actually looking towards he's a farmer, and he's looking towards the side of the field, and there was a big, huge tree that was it was actually open branch. It was going towards the fall, so there's hardly any leaves on this tree, and he saw something hanging there, very large, hanging over the tree. So he decided to get out and take a closer look, because one of his friends, that was one of his friends' property. So he got out and he walked across through the fence and walked over to the field, a good 50 feet. He looked up the tree, and he had seen, and it shocked him. They found the one missing person that was hanging from the tree, but it was a skeleton of him now. It was just a skeleton that was up there. Not a fake skeleton. It was a real skeleton, because his parts, his clothes are dangling from it. He knew who that person was. The shoes are still on. And so apparently in the tree, he got impaled. So the guy could have survived, but apparently got impaled through the tree. So they called the police, and they got the body, brought it down, and he informed the family of the loss, and they found the person who had lost his life. So there are times that you will find, maybe down the road, missing bodies from tornadoes. We've been having some really crazy weather. Now, you guys know how the weather is being controlled. Okay, we already know this. Weather's floods. Anytime there's a flood, that means there's something going on under that ground, that they still need to clean the swamp. Okay, these are floods that are, that happen all the time. These are specifically done for a reason, because whatever is down there, and most of it is human trafficking. Okay, trafficking. And they've probably the military went down there and rescued a bunch of people, and then whoever tried to escape, they flooded them out. Now, mind you, yes, there's lots of crop, but you remember now too, folks, not just 2-3 people that they got, that this whole thing was happening, that there were bad guys. There's lots of them that are involved. Major bad people were involved. And this is not just ordinary common tunnel that you dig out with a shovel and sort of thing. These are professionally made underground tunnels that are, you can have a highway run through it for miles. And there's actually videos of truckers driving down underground tunnels. Say you're got, for example, guys, many of you actually traveled a highway and you had to go under a bridge, say in a bridge through a mountain, and it looks like an underground tunnel, okay, for miles. That's exactly what this is. But this is actually under the ground, 50 to 100 feet below. And these are not just going around this way, zigzag, zigzag. These are straight through tunnels. And there's also bases, secret bases under the tunnels that caused all this to happen. And that's why people, that's the reason why our commander in chief has been chasing down all the bad people, and they're still doing it to this day. Okay, there's still more. Sure, they said they cleaned up more, but they found more. So anytime that you'll start seeing more floods or hear of more tornadoes, there's a reason for it. Okay, so it's not because, yes, we do have lost housing and there's loss of life. Now, not all tornadoes are controlled by our commander-in-chief. This is all done by other people that are not nice. So we're losing. There's a battle, there's a war, okay, going on between, and they use the citizens of the state lines, whether provincial states or across the world, to use these people as the pawns. We are the pawns that they were using to put us in the way so they can't catch the bad guys. So this is why a lot of this actually happens while we are caught in the middle of it. And that's why many of us are helping to expose them, to let the public, let the government, the military know, hey, there's some bad people here. Here's some bad people here. Now, there's a young lady who actually shared her video last night here in Vancouver, or the BC region. Let's say the BC region. I'm not sure it's Vancouver. But she actually came forward for the first time on video and told people about the girls that she knew, the women she knew a couple years ago and a few weeks ago that have gone missing. Okay. So she put the word out, and she knew who the people were that were doing this. Like she basically made it. She was not involved, but she witnessed it. So she exposed them, and I forwarded the information on to the next person who has the authority to do, to take care of it. So, and these aren't old reels; these are new reels. Sometimes it might be something. Sometimes you'll find some that become repeated for the last couple of years or a couple of years ago. These are brand new reels. We're still missing some women at times. And but not every young lady passes away or goes missing as a kidnapping. There's women that, I have a case come to see me where there was a young lady that died and found out through spirit that she had hung herself. Now, yet she went missing, but the family couldn't find her. But they found out later her parents wanted to know why she did it. And I told her it's over a boy. And whatever her family did not agree to be with this boy, it was them that refused her to marry this young boy who was a good man. But because his religion his ethnic background, I guess his religion, possibly could be his religion, it was against their beliefs. So I think he was Catholic and she was, I'm not Muslim. She was Catholic. He was Catholic and she was, I don't know what other religion, but it was, anyways, both did not agree. I guess the families did not want her to marry a Catholic, but he wasn't even devout Catholic. He was just Catholic and he never followed it, but apparently he wanted to be with her, marry her. The family refused her to be with him. And so she said she's going to run away with him. And they told her that if she tried to run away, that she would be taken away. So taken away to another country or whatever to keep her away from him. So and she was like 26, 27. So, but there are families like that. They're still controlling. Okay. It happens. And it's not because of it's just certain people still have certain beliefs. And I've heard these stories, seen these stories. I've had many clients come to see me, have dealt with this before, and so these things do happen. And I've dealt with this for I don't know how long now, guys. I've dealt with this for a long, long time, so I'm used to it. But what it did, it brought closure for the family that knowingly who she blamed. Like she kept saying to her mom, "Mom, it's not your fault." And I know it's not her mom's fault, but there are people above hers called the men who did not allow it. Okay. So, hey, Robert, nice to see you, my friend. So, how is the weather up in Ontario? And there's a guy who's up in Ontario. So how's the weather up in your way? And Scott, how are you doing up there? You're up in the States. How's the weather up in your side? Anybody out there, if you guys can share with me where you're living or where you're at, let me know what the weather's like in your area. If it's hot, cold, freezing, raining, pouring, is it really, really bad? Let me know because I like to find out. Now, Robert, was that wet because you got in the tub or in the rain, or how'd that work? Is it pouring like crazy all the time, raining? I'm not sure. So I'd like to hear from you. And so we are, like I said before, working with clients like this, and I'm trying to help them out. They've been doing a lot of that for a lot lately. Now, one thing I want to bring up too, folks, which is very important, because I have been talking to a lot of people, a lot of farmers. I mean, I'm an ex-farmer myself. And I want to tell you guys a bit of something that's really important. I need to share this with you. When I was young, we never had bad, horrible weather like we do today. And we constantly have these bad weather progressions that happened to farmers continuously for many, many years. This back in the late 60s, early 70s. Today, a lot of farmers, especially in Alberta, have had drought. They've had late seasons where it's destroyed their crops. I want to control that up there as well. Okay, so Robert says it in Ontario, it rained all day but stopped now. Okay, so lots of rain, no floods. Okay, Scott says it's very hot, 100 plus heat indexes. So Scott, can you share everybody what state you're in? Not the state of condition you are, but state you're in. Let me know. Let's see. Diane says her basement flooded. Northern Ontario. So she's 26 degrees in Northern Ontario and 18 tonight. She says, my basement flooded. Those of you who don't understand Celsius, I believe, let's see, 836 and 30, about 18. It's around early 80s in degrees, I believe. Okay, in Fahrenheit. I'm so used to Fahrenheit. I hate Celsius. Because in Fahrenheit you get an idea how hot it really is. But again, 60 in India, 60 Celsius, 140 in India as we speak right now. In India, the tires are melting. The blacktop you can't walk on because people wearing running shoes. Your feet are the under part of the rubber that's on your shoes are sticking to the underside is actually melting as you're walking. There are people who got brand new cars or plastic bumpers and that sort of thing, like your fenders and stuff. They're all melting. I saw the video. I was like, are you kidding me? So Scott Hare's up in Connecticut. Asphalt melts, feels hotter. My basement flooded and feels hotter. Asphalt melts. Wow. Yeah. So it is nuts. Okay. Now, Robert is up in Alberta. Travis is in Alberta. Travis, what's the weather like in there? And who else is there can tell me? And the weather also. Wendy, if you can let me know. And Heidi, let me know what the weather's like in your area. Verl, nice to see you, my dear. Ernie, Catherine, Lisa, Raven, Louie. Anybody in your area where you're at, let me know. And also Bonnie, if you guys let me know what areas you're in, that you can let me know what the weather's like in your area. We got like I said, people are getting hit with weather, temperatures, floods, rain, or not just rain, but floods, storms, tornadoes, um, meltdowns. I mean, literally, countries are going through meltdowns. It is nuts, absolutely freaking nuts. I think that I guess we'd say one world meltdown. If you ever want to see the Earth start melting, oh my God, this is going to be crazy. Now, why all this is happening, and I'll tell you why, guys. Why I'm bringing this up, why we're talking about the weather and what all the causes are. We're going through a food shortage. Now, there's two types of versions of food shortage. That is, it's actually intentional. Okay, this is not, our commander-in-chief is not creating intention. This is actually bad people who are buying out people's farmers' properties, and they are dealing with they force the farmer, the landowner, to lose their business. Wherever you are selling, whether you have cattle, pigs, chickens, bees, okay, that's exactly what these people will show up on your land, and they'll say, hey, there's a bird flu. And they go, like, next thing you know, they'll say, we're going to examine your animals. They put the dabber on there. Oh, you got it. Now, you know very well your animals are safe. Your animals are not sick. But they put the dabber on the animals themselves that actually has the you know what on there. Okay? So they're infecting it on purpose. Your hazmat suit wearing idiots are making it intentional to create the food shortage. And if they can't get your land that way, they will find a way to create a forest fire to destroy all of the land that's valued, including your forestry. So then they're going to say, well, now that your land has no value whatsoever, we're going to offer to buy your land from you. Okay. And they're also doing it on reservations as well. Your governments all across Canada, as well as the United States and other parts of the world, they're doing it to every farmer, anybody who's got land property, they're burning them out purposely. Okay. They're wanting to land grab. So why they're trying to land grab is they want to force you into the city to give up your property, force you to live in a city. Okay. I'm telling you guys, this is the arrangement, force you into the city where you become not happy where you are living in the city, because most people love to live in the country, like outside the city limits, because you like your freedom to do what you want. You got a lifestyle, you know, that's the way it is, right? Exactly, Verl. So much for truth and reconciliation. So they want to burn you off the property, including reservations, because they want to, Trudeau wants to remove reservations out completely. This is where your government wants to shift everything around, that nobody has any access to any rights whatsoever. This is what they're trying to do. I'll give you answers what you can do to protect yourself. Okay, but I'm going to tell you what they're trying to do now. So this is their land grab, their animal grab. They're trying to just create a food shortage to make you believe that. And once they create the food shortage, they're going to raise the prices of, you notice your prices, your food's going up even higher, even more now, including your vegetables and fruits. They're bringing in vegetables and fruits from other parts of the world. Why? Because they try to destroy the local crops here. Now, there are a lot of farmers who are still selling eggs, milk, meat, you name it. They're still trying to sell it here in Canada. Okay, I'm not going to say just BC. I'm talking about everywhere. They're still trying to sell their income, their way of life, their soul life. This is what they do. But there's a Bill Gates, his company. He's a trillionaire. This is how he's learned how to take your property away from him. But he's got associates that help him do all this work. He doesn't go to your door. He sends people to your houses, to your properties, and to force you out to live, to walk away. Now, what his first proposal will be, he'll say, I don't want you to sell this food to anybody. I'll pay you double what it's worth, but you got to destroy the food. Okay? Destroy the vegetables, destroy the fruits, whatever I'll pay you double, but you need to destroy it and don't sell it to the public. If the farmer refuses, and it's happened, if the farmer refuses, Then his next step is they'll send over hazmat suitors and say, oh, you've got bird flu. If you got animals on the farm, you got a bird flu. And they'll say, oh, it's in your cattle, it's in your pigs, in your chickens. We need to destroy everything now. Now, if you didn't have the animals, then somebody's going to sneak up at your property and burn your place down. Or they'll burn the land. They drive by these they have these big, huge, these half-ton trucks with no license plates on them, and you'll see these guys with little torches, like they have these torching things, and they go by the side of the highway and they torch the ditches. Now, you think they're controlling a fire line? I got friends that work in the forestry, okay, and they're forest fighters, but they said they don't do that all the time. Only if it's a bad fire and they don't want to cross over to the next highway. But these people are doing this along for miles where there's no forest fire yet. But they're already torching the ditches to make it, or even sideline on your property, burn it down all the way. Okay? So this is what they're doing right now. They're trying to scare the living crap out of you and to knock you off your property, to force you to move into the city. And why? Because this is where they're going to try to create the 15-minute city to stop you from actually accessing, to basically, you would have to be squared off into one 15-minute square region. And then you have to have, it's called a district, by the way. These are called districts. Say, for example, there are people living in Edmonton. Now, Edmonton actually has already started its 15-minute city. There are people out there right now today as we speak. This is no word of a lie, folks. This is absolute truth. There's people living in the Edmonton area, and there's different, they call them districts. You have to have a permit to cross over to the next district in Edmonton to go down somebody else's street to go visit a family, a loved one, or whatever. Okay, you had to have a permit. If you don't have that permit, then they give you a fine. Not a $25 fine, a $1,500 fine. Now, why are they doing this? Because they want to see how much you would be that you would capitulate to do and fall on your knees and do the same thing that they've done to you for the last 4 years. Okay, they've already brain trained you 4 years ago. You remember, guys? They did a lockdown. That was the first training session. Your lockdown was the first training session to get you to capitulate, to basically stay at home and not leave your house. That was their goal. And whatever happened, they already brain trained you from watching TV, and the TV says, oh, well, don't go out there. You need to be safe. You need to be safe. Stay at home. Be safe. Be safe. Stay at home. Don't go anywhere. Be safe. Be safe. You don't want to go that far. Oh, you need to be safe. Anybody that goes against the bullshit, that decide to cross the line, okay, then they threaten that person that tries to cross the line. But yet, if you know the laws, and you should, if you know the laws that protects you under the Canadian laws, there's three different kind of laws that protect you. Okay, you make sure you share that with the public. With the officers aren't going to give you tickets. The police don't have nothing to do with this. These are trained new 15-minute city officers. Okay, and possible maybe they're all Chinese. You never know. But watch closely. Now, in England, they have the same thing going on. In the UK, friends of mine that are from the UK said they're down there now. They've already started the 15-minute city about over a year ago. People are actually fed up with it because they're forced to not able to leave their own house and do things, and it's forcing them to lose money, income. They cannot make a living. People can't gather like they used to. Again, don't forget, guys, 4 years ago, you weren't allowed to gather. Okay. That was the brain train. This is what they're trying to do again. They're trying to create the 15-minute city. This is your WEF, the World Economic Forum. This is Klaus Schwab's people. Okay. This is what Trudeau agreed with. He signed up with them. He wanted to do it. So, and Chrystia Freeland, she was right on, bang on. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Yes, I'll do this. I'll lead. So guess what she's doing? Okay. So the fact is, this is what she's going to try and do. She's going to try and to create us to be afraid, not stand up for ourselves. And you need to absolutely say, no, I will not fall for your crap. Under the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, I am protected. Okay. Rimbey, Alberta, how's the weather up in your side, Serena? Okay. So under Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, you are protected. And even Trudeau tried to destroy the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Did you know that? He tried to take it down, the website down about a year ago. He was trying to take it down that you could not find your Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. He was actually, it made it invisible. Now, why would he do that? Because you would tell the officers, well, check up your Canadian Rights and Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Well, we don't have a website. It's not there. But see, .gov.ca, it's there, guys, but they had to put it back up because you cannot take it down. It is part of your protection. Okay. There's many other protections that you have. There's actually a military code that I use, military code 13818 and 13816 and 13819. That protects me from all things. If I inform the officers that these are military codes, that, and if they're going to say they're going to play the game with the bad boys, I just say, look, back off, guys. If you want to be taken to jail down the road to the military prison and go to Gitmo, one free trip one way is up to you. Go ahead, deal with me now. You want to put me in jail, go right ahead, but they're going to come collect you after. And then and even you may turn around and say, well, I'm just doing my job. No, you are following the World Economic Forum's job. You're working for a corporation. Okay, that's what I'm telling them. You're working for a corporation. You're not working for the government. You're working for a corporation because WEF is a corporation. They're part of the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, all Bilderbergs, all them. They all part of the BlackRock. These are the main people. They're the ones been trying to control us for hundreds of years. But the last 80, 90 years was the worst of it all because we are the practice game. And you're all here for a reason to say no. No more slavery. No more control. No more mind control. You can't tell me what to say, what not to say. You can't stop me from speaking. And there have been so many social networks that have said under their codes and under their little belief systems and whatever they say, these conditions, you can't say this, can't say that, can't say that. Why do you think what do you think Trudeau wanted to pass a law, okay, the Bill 11, that he's making sure that you can't speak up, you can't say anything bad about the government, you can't speak anything nasty, you can't say anything bad about him, or if you don't agree what he does, he can come out of your house and have you arrested and take you to jail. He can't. You know why? You know why he can't? Because he already is gone. The real true dumb has been gone a long time ago.